welcome to the Global Premier Football Show. I'm your host today, Coach Chidi. We're looking at the 15th round of the English Premier League review. And joined with me today is Raymond and Christian Oji. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good. So today we are going to look at the results of the Premier League and how it all played out. I know that the game that is mostly on our minds today is the game Chelsea played against Arsenal. Well, before we go into that, let's just take a quick look at the results for today's games, this weekend's games to start with. So on Saturday was the first few games. Leeds played Bournemouth. It was a very, very good game. Leeds won 4-3. This was a very good game. Bournemouth was losing, started winning. Leeds came back and they won the game. Man City 2-1. Erling Haaland back at his best, banging in goals from where he stopped. Nottingham Forest 2, Brentford 2, Wolves 2, Brighton 3, Everton 0, Leicester City 2. This was another very good game. I think Leicester have found their mojo back in winning games. And on Sunday, Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 3, Manchester United 1, surprises. Southampton 1, Newcastle, the new boys on the block, 4. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace winning their first away game of the season, 2. Spurs 1, Liverpool 2. So guys, let's look into this. We're going to take these games one after the other, but the games that we'll look at today and we'll focus will be the two-star games of the weekend. One is Liverpool playing Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur, as Antonio Conte will always do, started with Hugo Lloris in goal, Ryan Sessegnon, Davies, Lenglet, Dyer, Emerson Royal, Rodrigo Betancourt, Yves Bissouma, Højbjerg, Ivan Perisic. Ivan Perisic playing as a center forward today because Son was injured. Harry Kane up there. Liverpool, as they will always line up in their 4-3-3, but in an inverted form today, they played a 1-4-3-1-2. Alisson, Trent, Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Robertson, Thiago Alcantara, Fabinho, Javier Elliott, Firmino, Darwin Núñez, and Mohamed Salah. This game, when I was watching this game, Liverpool played their best game in the first half. I think where Mo Salah got his goals, and afterwards they started going down again in performance in the second half. Now, if we let's take a quick look at the stats here today. You know, this is an overall statistics. Now, guys, looking at this stats today, Christian, what do you make out of what Liverpool did today against Tottenham at the Tottenham Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the stat, thank you one more time, Chidi. Looking at the stats, right, I am very practical. Sometimes this stat represent what we want to see. Sometimes it actually doesn't represent the game so well. So I'm just going to go by the results right now because as much as what you said, that Liverpool played the game in the first half. And then in the second half, that is how you know a team that has an established striker. Harry Kane, like ever before, he came on, did what he does best. You know, you need a team. Every team needs a team that has a character, that is predictable, that has the presence of a forward, an attacking, presence. Which is what we saw with Tottenham today. If they had more time, I think that game would have gone to be a draw.
But now you said if they had time. 90 minutes, that's the game. Raymond, what do you think about that?
Thank you, Mr. Coach Chidi, and for giving me the opportunity to be part of this program. Actually, Liverpool came with a hunger, and they needed a win out of this game to salvage their situation. And yes, Liverpool has had a very rough starting of the season, But do not forget that Liverpool has had a structure. So despite a very rough season, they will still stand on their structure and turn things around when the going gets tough, which they did today in the first half of the game. And coming to second half, my kudos would go for the coach of Tottenham, knowing what he needs to do and switching things around and making things happen. And a host team which is staying home and losing 2-0, I think they need to step up to salvage situation, which Hurricane on his own side with the whole team supporting him. They did that by bringing one goal back. But at the end of the day, we could see that Liverpool are very much in need of this point, and they got it.
So let me cut you short a little bit there, Raymond. You mentioned structure, and this is what keeps teams going throughout the end of the season, from the start of the season to the end of the season. And because there is a structure in place, it helps a team, even when they are performing bad, to keep to their standard. I mean, regardless of how bad their season have started, that will help them, propel them to have a good end of the season or a good run towards the end of the season. Now, Chris, you mentioned that Harry Kane came in and did something, what he normally does best. And that there was something that you said that just struck me, and that is having a face. A team needs a character. A team needs a face. And I think that's what Tottenham has. But don't forget, Liverpool has the same, and that's Mo Salah. So, and I think that's what makes these two teams to have had the games that they had. If you look at the stats and ball possession, this and overall stats here, of course, you would never expect Tottenham to have more of the possession of the game, but I think they came out stronger in the second half, and also because of the type of manager they have, who does not throw in the towel. He will coach the game to the end of it. I mean, he is for me one of the best managers in the world in terms of character, in terms of desire. But that is all about Tottenham, because their season have been up and down. Some people have been waiting for them to lose. Some people are also waiting for Liverpool to keep losing so that they go down. Man United fans will be happy where Liverpool is right now at the table. And but believe you me, I think Liverpool by the end of the season will be where they belong, which is top 4, even if they're not winning the league, because for me, it's still too early to say who is running away with the league. Everything is still open, even though Arsenal is doing a good job. So, in the next thing that we're going to talk about here, looking at all this here, we are going to look at Chelsea and Arsenal. The Gunners came to the bridge, they shut down the bridge. They destroyed the bridge today. Chelsea lining up with Edward Mendy, Cesar Azpilicueta, Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Marco Kurela, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Jorginho. Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Now we just switched from a back three to a 4-2-3-1. I know injuries there, but let's look at Arsenal. Arsenal came up with their normal 4-3-3. This is a team that has structure, and they never change their formation to suit anyone. They will play you game. Ramsdale in the net, Benjamin White, William Saliba, Gabriel Zinchenko, Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli. Guys, this is a game to forget. First of all, let's look at this lineup here. What do you think went wrong with the Chelsea lineup? Anything?
Yeah, I couldn't wait to jump on this because everything was wrong. Everything was wrong from the onset. Like from the last time we had a podcast, I don't know if you can remember, we talked about Marco Kurela not being a fullback. You know what I mean? If we like going back to the Tottenham game, we saw what Conte did when he was at Chelsea. There was a structure with the 3-5-2 or what he played, and You know, with Chelsea, I don't see, I'm not being a copycat, but I don't see why we cannot play a 4-3-3 system. Having the likes of Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, we have Ziyech, who is good on the wing. That is natural thing. We have the likes of Aubameyang and the Barroger, who have a presence. Why can we not try the 4-3-3? In today's game I felt so it was a pain watching Chelsea play. That was not like my Chelsea. You know, there was no structure. I can't compare what I watch right now with what I had with the former coach. It was way better than what we have right now. So I don't even see the reason for the change if this is what we're going to be having. It's just going to go from bad to worse because we have Newcastle next.
Yeah, Raymond, what are your thoughts?
Excuse me. Looking at this Chelsea setup, first thing that is in my mind is the first thing is the coach is using the available players in his disposal. But if you ask me, one thing the coach must get right this early stage is the fact that if he doesn't know much of the player, he should start with performances. If a player doesn't perform, like for example, Kai Havertz was sloppy, 3 good connected ball went to him, he blew it. That was a red sign right there. Pull him out, push someone in. You are sending them a message when you play them halftime, send them out, send someone in. You are sending a message to them, hey, this seat does not belong to you. You have to work to make this seat. And that way you are challenging players to get to their best. From what I saw today in Chelsea, the likes of Loftus-Cheek, the likes of Raheem Sterling, the likes of Kai Havertz, these guys were very stuck. They don't even drive ball. They don't even commit. Like you will see at some point a midfielder will drive ball, draw 2 players to him, and free up somebody. Loftus-Cheek was just so stuck. He only want to get the ball, want to pass back, and compared to whatever this coach is doing now, which is the coach of Chelsea, whatever he's doing now that is a little bit different from what I used to see before, is the point of the attack. That is always a forward penetration whenever they want to go forward. Before, Jorginho would pass wide lateral kind of passes, but now they've been a little bit direct when they want to pass. But the setup is very bad because the setup has not allowed them to get the possession over Arsenal. Arsenal has a better setup and was able to win the ball in the midfield before Chelsea could even get to their defensive side. Then, if you have such such organization and setup against an opponent, you need a midfielder who can drive this ball and create those spaces, which you see when this guy came in. The Chelsea, what's his name again?
Is it Kovacic?
Kovacic. When he came in, you see 1-2 touch, he swing that ball a through pass and making the strikers run for it. And that is what Chelsea was lacking there. And for the coach to do the introduction very late like that, I don't know what he was waiting for. Which
like if I may say, yeah. I mean, Kovacic is coming back from injury, and also they're trying to to save him. I mean, it's not nice for him to just like jump into the heat of the game. He may have started and then withdrawn, but again, I get what you guys trying to say, and I really agree with you because the setup of this particular team has hindered the team from playing free flow football. Today, we were stuck right into our first third. We were not able to play out from the back. Arsenal were playing. Now, in the first game, I don't know if you guys realized, Aubameyang had 0 movements today. Raheem Sterling was off it today, even though there were times he played forward passes. My problem with Raheem Sterling at the moment is this. integrating into the defensive build-up, or when we transit from attacking to defending, Raheem Sterling becomes a passenger. And that created a very, very much overload, a lot of overload for Cesar Azpilicueta on the right. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a poor game. The whole team entirely had a poor game. It was only Azpilicueta, according to the ratings here, that has a 7 rating. You know, the rest had a very poor game. We could not drive the ball, as you mentioned. We could not switch balls quicker. Even we could not even find, Aubameyang was even more off in the game. That was why he was pulled out after 60 minutes. No movement. He was not willing to run. The team did not want to press. The team stayed back. And that gives Arsenal the chance, the time to play out from the back, get into the middle, create. They were playing, even the times they were playing, one touch pass and go. It's like Chelsea was just playing as a team that did not train for the whole week. And I think, now, Chris, you mentioned the formation. I think we've tried 4-3-3. I think at the moment, this 4-2-3-1 could probably suit Chelsea because we have a lot of number 8s, midfielders in the team. The midfielders in this team, number 8 in the team, they are every one of them. Only Mason Mount and Kai Havertz are number 10s. The rest of the midfielders are all 8. N'Golo Kante, the only number 6 we have in this team, is injured and not even coming back in the next game. So we're still going to suffer. Zakaria is not playing. Reason, I just do not know why he is not playing. And I'm sure, I believe he was on the bench today in this game and he still didn't play. What do you think? Or what do you make of Zakaria not playing and Loftus-Cheek playing over and over and still not having a good game?
I think every game is unique, right? In the Premier League, it depends on the team you're meeting. The game against Arsenal was not a good game for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The fact that he's not very quick, he's bulky, he's stocky. With what Arsenal has going on. I know Thomas Partey was there. That's probably the reason why he chose to, work with Loftus-Cheek. But I think Zakaria or someone else would have done a better job in that midfield to be a little bit more flexible with that midfield. So I don't know the reason why Zakaria is not playing. He wasn't his best, but he scored. He was gaining in confidence. So I thought he should have started in this game in place of Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Raymond, what do you think should change in this Chelsea setup in terms of the lineups? What is your ideal lineup for Chelsea? An ideal formation?
Like I said before, the Porter is using the availability of the players he has in his possession to play the formation he wants, which is, I don't see anything wrong in that, but everything is wrong in a coach not being able to spot danger when there is a danger for past 20 minutes in a game.
Yeah.
If he's been able to spot the danger, and because I can pick Loftus-Cheek, I can trust him, and he come to a game and he's not delivering, he's not giving me what I expected to see. I pull him out. It's as simple as that. Yeah. I don't keep him there for long to try to see if he make up his mistake. Havertz was there. Maybe he scored some late goals, which is fine. First 25 minutes. If he's not performing, I pull him out. I remember the time of Jose Mourinho, when Mourinho was in Chelsea, that he had 2 strikers to choose with. Didier Drogba and one other striker, maybe Andriy Shevchenko or something like that. He was giving each and every one of them first half, 45 minutes, get out. First half, then within half a season like that, he was able to determine who is going to be his point man. So for this Porter guy, he should be flexible to work with whatever availability and whoever ready to perform for him. Pulisic, it has been a good instrumental in the attacking forward. And like Zakaria guy you guys mentioned, like I always said, do not judge a book by its cover. Put somebody there in this situation. You just need who can give you action, not name. You're not looking for name anymore. You're looking for action. Who can give you a positive action? You go with that.
Yeah, I really agree with you, because it's what you do on the field that determines how long you should stay on the field. It's not because you are Kai Havertz and you scored Champions League final goal and you cannot just perform. He was sloppy today. I don't know whether he will ever get to the pace of the Premier League. I don't know. He's an intelligent player, but I think he's sometimes you don't know what he is up to for the day. But
not to cut you short, but most times I see, like today's game, most times I see Kai Havertz operating from the right side, and he's the most sloppy when he's in that side of the field. He's most effective if he's operating from the right side. It makes him open his hips and find the net, a far net. But when he's operating from the left side, he has to dribble out, which needs a pace to beat a defender before he's
he could not take on Ben White.
He doesn't have that pace. He doesn't have it.
But
if he's on the right side, he can cut in. When you are cutting in, you are going inside the midfield, and a defender don't know how to handle you because you are going deep inside the field. But when you are on the left side, you cut out, you narrow the field for the defender to catch up with you.
Okay, well, guys. I mean, looking at this stats here, we were beating black and blue today. Chelsea was, Chelsea was just humiliated today. Whether we lost a lot in possession, everything was on for Arsenal. Just the offside was for us. Fouls were for Chelsea. We had more yellow cards. That was where we won. But other than that, every other thing was against the Blues today. I mean, now let's look at Arsenal. Where do we think Arsenal will end by the end of the season come May? Because we have to also see how good they were and how their performance and how far they've come.
If you ask me that question, okay, go for it, Christian.
I don't know if you can hear me, but
yeah,
if you can hear me, yes, but I think not talking down on Arsenal, taking Arsenal for granted right now will be to our own detriment. They're playing good. They have a momentum going on. They have a young squad. The coach Arteta is growing in confidence every day. He's been phenomenal in what he's doing. So I would not say that the Arsenal we'll see now is going to go back to what it used to be, like going down the table again. No. Arsenal is able to sustain this. Let's not put them down, even though we know they're London rivals. If we continue playing the way we're playing now, trust me, Arsenal is going to finish ahead of Chelsea. I'm not being a prophet of doom, but that's just a reality. We have to up our game. We have to do better. Arsenal is playing one of the best footballs right now, and they have a young squad, and I don't see anything changing, except they have major injuries after the World Cup.
Okay. Statistics shows that only one team has lost the title after being 34 points in this stage. Only one team has lost the number one spot. Every other team that has been where Arsenal is today has ended up being champion. So I for one, I would wish Arsenal that luck for them to go all in out to get that, because that is going to give Arteta something to believe on, because the guy is working very well, like he's doing a great job with the team. And anything short of being a champion or getting victory out of this will kind of dismotivate all the good work he has done. So then I wish him the good luck, and I want him to go all the way out. So if Chelsea can pick up their pieces and get to top 4 somewhere manageable and begin to build on structure, because Chelsea don't have a structure right now, every day with the different formation, which is not, I don't know what that is all about. And but something that I really like about Chelsea now is the fact that whenever ball goes forward inside the opposition final third, there is options. At least 2 or 3 people is there to convert the ball, which in the tell yes, we are lacking that, and that wasn't healthy enough.
Let me ask
want
you
to
guys this question.
Respectfully disagree a little bit with your point of view, because looking at the stats today and the last 2 matches, with what Potter is doing, the attack is blunt. Aubameyang barely had touches today as a center forward. The same thing in the last game in the Champions League.
Yeah, we were not putting crosses in. There were no crosses.
No, he wasn't getting the ball, so the system is not
functional.
working. It's not functional.
The wingers are not functional. No one puts crosses in. No, I mean, my question for you guys is this: do you think that Graham Potter is the man to lead Chelsea forward? Seeing the games that we've come playing, because I have not seen anything, any change of philosophy, any change of approach. You've talked about playing forward passes and all those stuff. Do you think that Graham Potter is the man for Chelsea?
For me, it's too early to say, but from so far, for what he has done, he has not shown a kind of structural aspect of what his philosophy or what his coaching ideas for Chelsea or the culture of his kind of game, his kind of soccer is. I don't know what that is, because he always come up with different approach in different games. So for that, I don't know what his culture or what his approach is. So for I doubt about taking Chelsea to promised land. But getting a result, he might get a result, but that doesn't mean that he has a structure.
Chris, what about you?
Yeah, so I still do not see the rationale behind firing a Thomas Tuchel to getting a Potter. You cannot compare. Left for me, Tuchel is still better tactician, better a manager any day, anytime. I don't know what happened within behind the scene, but Tuchel was still a better fit for me any day, anytime. I wish Potter the best, but this is not Brighton. Chelsea is not Brighton. Chelsea is a different ball game. So I wish him the best, but I don't see that Chelsea will work for him. He's not up to the Chelsea standard. I'm sorry to say it. He was going to need a lot of time, and Chelsea is finishing way below table for a season or 2 for him to get the rhythm, and that's not where we should be.
Yeah, I think we should start getting used to losing games. Chelsea should start getting used to losing games, and then we will be able to see what this man, what Porter has. Because at the moment, as we all agree, there's no momentum. And there is nothing, no structure, no idea, no philosophy. I don't see any of that. But the thing is that let's start getting used to losing games. And maybe by the end of the year, into the new year, after the windows, the transfer window in January, we'll see if we'll be able to get going. Because right now, we're crawling. Actually, we're on a standstill, not even crawling. All right, guys, just to wrap it up for today, let's look at the standings here. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Actually, I think just one second. I think Chelsea will need a well-established striker, not one of name, someone that is functional. You know, we will need in the January transfer window.
Roger gets into the game and he moves. Aubameyang was static. You know, when we signed Aubameyang, I was like, okay, but today, was he emotional about playing Arsenal, or was he overwhelmed by playing Arsenal today? He was static. He was not moving. The Arsenal players were motivated to crush him down today. They were motivated because of the coach who, I know how the Spanish people think. They will come out thinking, I must win this game because this guy cannot come and shame me for leaving, for sending him out of the club. This is how Spanish thinks, you know. So today, Aubameyang was not in the game. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Looking at the standings, Arsenal, after 13 games, are sitting comfortably 34 points, and they are scoring goals. They are not struggling for goals. The only team that is outscoring them is Manchester City with 32 goals, with 27 goals advantage, and they are doing very well. Look at their stats. Newcastle back to top 3, and they are playing Chelsea next. Tottenham keeping their top 4, even though they lost. Man United 5th, Brighton 6th, Chelsea 7th, Liverpool 8th, Fulham 9th, and Crystal Palace 10th. Brentford leads Aston Villa, West Ham, Leicester City actually on 14th. Look at the bottom 3. Nottingham Forest, the team that signed all the players in the world, changed the whole squad, sitting comfortably 20th. I do not believe that Nottingham Forest will survive this season. It will be a miracle that will save them from my own perspective, because you don't go changing the whole squad just because you want promotion to the Premier League. There's no chemistry. There's nothing. And I think their team needs help. Southampton back again. There's one player I think Chelsea should sign, and he's from Southampton, their captain, James Ward-Prowse. What do you guys think? And with that, we wrap up.
I don't know about that guy.
I think I lost you a little bit. I didn't hear your question.
I said James Ward-Prowse, the Southampton captain. He's a very good midfielder. He is the best set-piece taker in the world. Free kicks, corner kicks. This guy is a guy that I think Chelsea should go for. He is a midfielder that can throw those passes that finds the center forwards, because we are not getting all our midfielders drive short passes. No one is playing forward passes like Fabregas used to do back in those days. That's what I think. Anyway, next 6 years, yes.
Ziyech does that. Watches games before he came to Chelsea. That's his trademark. Those long passes.
Yeah,
I wish he can get more
but he
time.
has not delivered in Chelsea, so we cannot keep waiting for him. He's gotten his time. For me, he has not delivered. For me, I think he's not physically conditioned to play in the Premier League. That's what I think, because no one is going to give you that time and space. In Ajax, in Holland, he might, but in Premier League, he needs to eat some extra protein. That's what I think, though. Look at all the performing midfielders in the Premier League, how they are. Anyway, guys, next weekend is the last game of the year. Sorry, before the World Cup, not the year, because Premier League comes back after the World Cup. Man City plays Brentford, Bournemouth, Everton, Liverpool, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Spurs, Leeds, West Ham, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea, a game to watch. We don't do well at St. James Park, but we'll see how we go about that. Wolves, Arsenal, Brighton, Villa, and Fulham, Man United. Guys, that's all we have for this very particular show today. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to have you. And for those of you watching out there, like, subscribe, so that you'll be the first to know when we release a new content. Thank you very much again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thank you for having me.